Good evening and welcome to the Poets Cafe, where the art of conversation comes alive. Highlighting a new era of the Poets Cafe, where artistic voices comes alive. As we welcome everyone into and across the threshold of a new beginning, we will honor the voices and faces on our second anniversary. Today's stories will mark a new chapter on the billboard for artists, writers, singers, poets, painters, and crafters, many with gifted talent, sharing voices of yesterday, today, and stories untold, poetically speaking. Welcome to the Poets Cafe with Ron C. McCray and Terry Benjamin. We will continue our journey into a new romance novel of relationships with music as lit, of the soul and rhythm moving the body from side to side, leaving only memories for our audience as we move forward into today's show. So, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Now, let's get started in our show and listen to the voices of the shadow winds blow, poetically speaking.
As if it's Thursday, it must be poetically speaking, the place for the spoken word with Ronald C. McCray and Terry Benjamin over BKS1 Radio TV YouTube. Engineer for this afternoon is Jeff. And as always, we want to make sure we get our VIPs in the VIP Lounge. And again, we are here and the VIPs, we're going to lead you up there to your special place, our special place for you. Doug Dan, Jane Small, Laretha Foster Bram, Dennis Woodyard, Doyle Armstrong Sr., Ronald Jeter, Al Sadiq Banks, Dennis K., Gregory T. McGee, Kim Sanis, Sylvia Carter, Katrina Madison, Erica Brown, Joanne Blount, Bonita Floyd Ward, Robert Caberstock, Raymond DeVoe, Chanel Maynor, Elliot Hale, Keith Davis, Laura Ledbetter, Vanessa Jackson, Priscilla Buchanan, Simone Taylor, Laura Flashberg, Pat Hughes, Tommy McKenzie, Maria Habiba Ismail, Charlie King Paris, Edwina Simmons, Monica Sane. So, Ron, they're all in the VIP Lounge, and we salute you. We thank you for reaching out to us, letting us know that you're out there, okay? Today's agenda, our story, get up, stand up, okay? Before we was talking about it being Black History Month, well, we're going to change that. We're going to make it our story. It's our story month. It's our story year. It's our story lifetime because, again, it's our story. Quote of the day. It's a street saying, it's some street wisdom, and it goes simply like this. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I'm sure you heard that saying before. But as always, when we begin our program with Ron's poetry. Ron, what do you have for us tonight?
You know, I like to also piggyback on the introduction we gave, and I say this sincerely. You know, it is truly a pleasure because it tells us that we are bringing to you something that's not only entertaining, but something to enlighten each and every person. It says something about who we are and what we present. This is not just a platform, just a hula holler, whatever case may be. But we like to take this platform serious, and that's what's important, whether it's poetry, musically lit, or just an open conversation. So your comments is important. Your presence is more important, and your opportunity to be part of the VIP. That's what make us, to make you, to make all of us collectively as one body, brothers and sisters, no matter how you look at it. So that's important. And the man has his own VIP. How come we can't have ours? So let me read this, because as you indicated, you know, the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is what again?
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
And as I always say, you know, I matter of fact, I wrote this probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And the thought came to my mind. So as I always said, I never know what my brother may have or what quote he may have, but it always seemed like it ties in collectively with each other. So let me read this. And the title of this is Something.
Love it, love it.
Something is a word that is expressed on a regular basis. How often it is used, one does not know, at least if the question is asked. What is the response? If it is nothing, how do you define nothing? Where does it come from? Why is it used so often and in the form of something that creates nothing to be conversed about? Why do we need something that has no purpose for something to be needed? We cry about something, talk about something, get mad about something, desire something, crave something, dream about something, worry about something, get mad about something, but cannot express what that something is. What is that something? Where did it come from? We created. Why was it created? What is the purpose of using the word? Something from something leaves nothing to be desired. So why is the word used regularly? What is it? What is the nature? What's the definition of something? The mathematical concept of the quantity of things in the nothing, a phrase in science and technology, physics and anatomy. World of something with nothing to be exposed to. People are mad about something, get mad about, people are bad about something, get mad about something, fight about nothing, hold grudges about nothing, and cannot tell anything about something that takes over the mind in ways that cannot produce its reason behind something without any foundation to support it. So, what is something that has nothing to weigh in on for understanding? The Bible states in Proverbs 3 and 5, in all thy ways get an understanding. But what if one does not know what something is? People think about something, feel something, but what is something? Is it an illusion, a make-believe, a metaphor to relate to something, or a reality of what? Define something that would have or give meaning to something without always using the word but, and bring it to life for a direct understanding. What is it that you need or want? Clarity is the best foundation for understanding in a world of purpose. God created life with meaning and purpose, not from something without knowing what it represents. So, what is something? And I know that everybody is familiar with that word because we all use it. And the thing is, once you become aware of something, you start to listen to yourself and you hear, well, I want something. I think about something. So what do you want? I don't know. It's something. 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 Heard that word before, that phrase, whatever. But it's important to think about it. And so what's important to, on the intellectual level, and I don't mean intellectual, you have to be that smart, but with common sense, identify that what it is that you want to either need or you trying to speak about, or if something you want. You see, I just used it, something you want. That's right. But what is that something you want? If it's food, if you want to go to sleep, if you want to go on a vacation, if you want something to eat, identify that something as opposed to just using the word something. Because it really is like an open statement, with no end. That's right. But you should always have it open and close end, because the close end of that is, I want something to eat. I need food. I need help. I need love. I need a relationship. I need somebody to understand my sorrows, my depression. So all that's important. So think about that word, something.
Because when we talk about if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Again, we're talking about having some kind of foundation for your life, because that's what builds your character. And then that's why if you do that, people will know how far they can push you, how far they can take advantage of you, because you stand for something. Hopefully that foundation is built on something spiritual, something that's fair, something that is about the love and the joy that we can share with each other. Because on the program, we're trying to build community.
You know, this piece, my brother and I went to the library the other day, and he was indicating in reference to an artist there. Unfortunately, and I don't want to say unfortunately, but his present, the timing was not, you know, on the same level at that time. But nevertheless, we went. So I saw some of his work there, you know. So as my brother and I was talking and whatnot, and I took a couple of pictures to think about it. When you go to a museum, you look at somebody's artwork, and we talk about it all the time. What do you see? How do you understand something? And you look at it from an artist's perspective. And a lot of times the artists themselves cannot tell you exactly the meaning of it. But nevertheless, everybody had their own view of that. So let me just read this. And this is a collage. A collage of artistic collection, soul to remember, soul of today. Tomorrow to remember how time transcends into a global platform for the world to see hidden talent. Creativity is an artist's dreams, to believe in showcasing their vision. Faces, places, and conversation, too many to count. Yet stories never fade, for tomorrow's rests in today. Time clock sends the world in and out of a different performance, where the eyes reviews various styles of masterpieces, framed for a new artist to write the memoir of their favorite collection. That's right. Time scales back to where time stands, still in the moment when the breath of life captures the wind each time one inhales, leaving no room to suffocate. From being mesmerized by the gifted talent a new artist brings forth. Collages are a mystery when viewed through the eyes of the hidden talent, as another seeks to learn what they present. What are the designs that so many are confused about, yet find joy in the illusion of the secret patterns, one of their own kind? Wow. What are the thoughts that inspires one to believe that he or she can gain approval from their audience before giving a speech about what a collage reveals? What they become in captivating that price for one piece is priceless, all because each one is unique in its core textual design. Each piece reveals a new era of thought, a thesis about the writer's research into something original and archaeological for new meaning when unearthing deep treasure below the surface of self for discovery. Never banding new thoughts about anything, everything is a treasure masterpiece for any collage to be presented to a new audience. As each observer walks across the stage, they highlight their own curiosity about what free art can reveal. Words are written in a manual script of the gifted mind deep within, without revealing the sovereignty exposed to the outside world. Decipher the mystery of the creator's mind. It is unwavering yet unchallenged. And so, again, that's important when you look at a collage, when you go to a museum and you look at anybody's paintwork or whatever the case may be, or listen to, as my brother always shared, music of lit, listen to the lyrics or something. So that's what's important. And again, I apologize for, sometimes we fumble over words and whatnot, but nevertheless, I'm not apologizing because, trying to find an excuse. It's just the fact that this is raw, straight up. So if everybody was perfect, we have a problem, wouldn't we?
This is sure. And the gentleman that he's speaking about is a gentleman from Elizabeth, New Jersey. As a matter of fact, I grew up with him. His name is Derek J. Dent. And I spoke to him. As a matter of fact, when we were at the Elizabeth Public Library, I called him at his home, and I said, well, look, we're enjoying your work. You're putting together these jazz collages, and the name of the program is Jazzcendence, the art of Derek J. Dent, at the Elizabeth Public Library, 11 South Broad Street, and this is in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and it's going to be from February the 1st through the 28th, 2026, and it's in the third floor gallery. And again, very soon we plan to have Derek come on the program to talk about his his collages, his fine art. He's been doing it since he was like 5 years old. And because he's a brother from Elizabeth, as I am, we have a kinship. And it's just so good to see somebody still doing what they've been doing. And again, Ron, you know as well as I do, if you're doing what you've been doing at this particular age, man, you're a master. You put in more than your 10,000 hours. And so I'll be so glad to present Derek J. Dent to our audience.
I'd like to read this one. This one is from a previous moment, but nevertheless, nothing is old, and whatever happened yesterday is revealed today again.
That's right.
And this is from a personal friend of ours. He was an artist. He had his own recording studio. Yes. This one I put together in reference to Washington, Roosevelt, Washington. And the title of this, An Artist's Vision's Dream.
Wow.
An artist is a visionary, one who sees, believes what is yet to come. But to spell out the story, they cannot tell. The sounds of lyrics flow like water cascading across the horizon plains, and only a tuned ear can feel the joy of senseless pain that never hurts, except at the end is what I've gained. Pain of color, shape, size that has no rhythm as to why I hear what I cannot tell you, how it looks from the other side. Roosevelt, an artist born before his time, never had a spoken word. He stands on, but it is not what his own to write to the image, but to sing his song. His vision of imagination filled his dreams, often saying, "Hold up, I got it. Let me do it. I'll fix it. I can fix it. All I need is for you to give me the word." Hold up. Again and again he would say, "Just give me a few words. I can fix it. The rest, there are many kinds of writers, singers, speakers, poets. One who draws colors in many ways. Never understand until he fix it his way. I got it. Hold up. Just let me hear the words. Just say it again." Too often artists will hear something and say, "I got it. Write something to this. Write anything. I have to hear it or feel it in my own way." At times, depending on the artist's mood, situation, or how he feels, would determine how his music unfolds. An artist's vision's image sometimes make no sense until he organizes it in such a way that it flows of rhythm, that the flow of rhythm, lyrics, and sounds permeate in and out of their footstep, move and groove that says, yes, that is it. But it was not. At times, an artist believes some things is out of place, and he works on it well into the midnight morning day until it was right. He often said, "A spirit that knows a spirit, an artist knows another artist." Everyone is an artist. It's only when you unfold your own story and bring it to life at the end of your journey. Only then that one can understand the joy that one brings in the morning during tumultuous times like Miles Davis or the old-time blues. Quite often, artists have despaired moments when their story cannot unravel any distorted circumstances while sitting under the clouds of darkness. Their cry never shows tears, but internally drenched in pain, impending all evidence as time washes the memories to an unending place. Wherefore the melody of an artist brings an unwrapped gift that surprises the unwanted to the soul of the needy, giving unimaginable thrills that warms the spirit, rising to levels never heard before. Roosevelt did just that. When he heard a few lyrics of mine, and without hesitation said, "I got one for you," under a file name, Sir Ron, entitled "Serenity on the Shore." And that was my CD,
beautiful.
and that's when I shared before,
Yes,
and I only gave a couple of words. He said, I got it. And he put it together. So again, with that, and as we talk about your thoughts, your visions inside of you, put it down. Somebody who's artistic in their own talent and ways will say to you, I got it. Yeah. I know what to do. I put it together. And when you hear your story, your words, that somebody artistically behind the scenes, just like we identify our engineer,
that's right. Yeah.
his job, her job is to put things in place for us.
That's right.
And then we can say, and like he would say, I got it.
That's right. And say his name. What's his name? What's the brother's name?
Roosevelt Washington.
Yes. And we have some of our community checking in with us. Mary McDonald Swindell says, I'm always interested in lyrics. Dina Robinson says, I'm listening, Terry and Ron. Laretha Foster Bram says, good evening. Good evening, Mary, Dina, and Laretha. Thank you so very much for tuning in and really making these comments, because you really inspire us. And we're glad that you're out there. So you want to do another one, or you want to save it for later?
No, I'll save one for later.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move on to Mind, Body, and Books. And as always, I have some interesting books for you. I have a fiction book, and I also have a nonfiction book. And the fiction book is from one of my favorite authors, a gentleman named Eric S. Gray. And again, this is the type of brother that every time when he has a book come out, I put everything else to the side and read his book. And the only thing about this, and it's not a spoiler, but it's a big book, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So we have to go to another book. But this book is just amazing. And I just want to read from the back of the book to give you some idea of what this brother's up to. The name of the book is Bronco. Bronco, a soldier with the all-black 92nd Infantry Division, leaves behind the lifestyle of a gangster in Harlem to fight against the Germans in Italy in 1944. His skill as a soldier is impressive, and he fights like a one-man army to take down several German soldiers during a particularly intense battle. But it is what he experiences after the battle that will change the course of his life. A group of dead German soldiers wearing World War II uniforms appears before him, but Bronco is the only one who can see them. Amid the chaos and suffering of war, Bronco discovered that, in addition to his superhuman strength, he can see the dead. A decade later, Bronco is working as a gravedigger and suffering from PTSD. The bars and the lounges of Harlem offer him a reprieve from the haunting memories of war, but he can't escape his supernatural abilities. He is soon haunted by the daughter of a Mississippi farmer killed by the KKK. Entangled in a strained war between gangsters in Harlem, Bronco reluctantly leaves the city for Mississippi to investigate the girl's death, and it covers more than he could ever expected. So this is like sort of a supernatural thriller, and it's a very, very good book. As a matter of fact, he has quite a few books. So any book that you read by Eric S. Gray is definitely an experience. Laretha Foster Bram says Roosevelt was a good guy. Mary McDonald Swindell says hello. Okay, so that's my fiction book for the week. My nonfiction book is really from a Jersey girl. And the name of the book is Becoming Spectacular, the Rhythm and Resilience from the First African-American Rockette-Jennifer Jones. So she is the first black Rockette who performed at Radio City Music Hall. And it's really a really good book. And it says here, just from the inside cover, it says here, the first African-American Rockette charts her journey as a member of one of the world's most celebrated dance troupes in this gripping, inspirational memoir. And this is Jennifer Jones today. She's still living in New Jersey. And the book is just very good. As a matter of fact, it's nonfiction, but it reads like fiction, because there's so many ups and downs and a lot of personal triumphs and also personal tragedies. But it's a very, very good book. So the two books in Mind, Body, and Books today is Bronco by Eric S. Gray and becoming spectacular. The rhythm and resilience from the first African-American rockette, which is Jennifer Jones. Want to move on to Music is Lit. And in this particular segment, I have 3 songs, but it's 3 songs from the same artist. And so I'm going to go into the songbook of Donny Hathaway. And I'd like to sort of go beyond the fact that Donny Hathaway committed suicide, but he was a lot more than that. You know, he was a beautiful brother, songwriter, and an artist. You know, he did some recordings on his own, but he did a couple of albums with Roberta Flack. I'm sure you remember the song Where's the Love? And this was Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack together. But I just want to read some songs that he did by himself. And so the first song that I'd like to read as a poem in the Music is Lit segment is Sack Full of Dreams. And as Ron said before, every artist has a vision. And so again, in this vision, and in the other 2 songs I'm going to read, Donny Hathaway shares his vision. And so this is Sack Full of Dreams, Donny Hathaway, and this is 1972. And Monica Sane just checked in. She says, I love Donny Hathaway. Well, you're going to love these 3. Sack Full of Dreams. I've got a dream for the world, peace in the rivers and everywhere, bridges of steel and love and cities that smile. Gray empty faces walk by and hands try to hide all the loneliness, lighting a cigarette to blow time away, lost in the noise, lonely as wind. People on sidewalks with no place to go. Can they learn to understand the world? World of love that I'm dreaming, the world of love. And I've got a dream for the world. Kites flying hope in the summer sky. Corners where children play, run in the rain. I said I got a sack full of dreams. Streets filled with laughter and toy balloons. And people with hearts that care. Who listen for love. Wanting to sing, wanting to care, wanting to share my dreams for the world. Can they learn? Can they learn to understand the world of love that I'm dreaming, the world of love, wanting to sing, wanting to care, wanting to share all my dreams for the world. Can they learn? Can they learn? Can they learn to understand the world of love that I'm dreaming? The world of love, peace and happiness, love and kindness. And that was as recorded by Donny Hathaway, written by Gary McFarlane. And this song was also recorded by Grady Tate. But again, I love the version that Donny Hathaway does, Sack Full of Dreams. The next song is one of his most popular songs, and this was actually released in 1973. And I'm sure that you've probably heard it before, but I want to sort of slow it down, and I want to look at the lyrics. And the name of the song is Love, Love, Love. Again, Donny Hathaway. Love, love, love. Why you take so long to come to me, oh baby? And love, 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 your love. Tell me, were you hiding from me all the time? Each time I try to find some place to Each time I tried someone to take your place, it was all in vain. No, their lips were never quite the same. No, baby. When I was kissing someone new, deep inside I was missing you. Ah, baby, you make me fall in love with you. Now I don't know what I'm going to do. Ah, honey, I looked out into empty space and all I saw was your sweet face. Love, love, love. You can't imagine what you do to me, oh, baby. And love, your love. Every time you smile, it goes right through me all the time. Day by day, I'm falling more in love with you, and that's no lie. Cross my heart, and honey, I hope to die. 'Cause I'm not trying to mislead you. Believe me, girl, I really need you. Oh, oh, baby, you make me fall in love with you. Now I don't know just what I'm going to do. Oh, honey, I looked out into empty space, and all I saw was your sweet face. Oh, baby, you make me fall in love with you. No, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, baby, I looked into empty space, and all I saw was your sweet face. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Donny Hathaway, as written by J.R. Bailey and Ken Williams. Dina Robinson says, oh, Mr. Donny Hathaway, how smooth. Yes, that's right. How smooth, how smooth. And one of his favorite songs for me is In the Ghetto. And he starts, yes, this is the ghetto. And he just gets on that piano and he just makes a masterpiece. Monica said, beautiful poetry. Yes, Monica, music is music is literature, music is poetry. You know, I can't sing, but I can recite these songs. And I can encourage you to listen to Mr. Donny Hathaway and listen to these songs. And in his last song is a message, is a hope, is a dream, is a vision. And I share this with you. Is entitled, and this is also from 1973, very good year. And this is entitled, Someday We'll All Be Free. Donny Hathaway again. Hang on to the world as it spins around. Just don't let the spin get you down. Things are moving fast. Hold on tight and you will last. Keep your self-respect, your manly pride. Get yourself in gear. Keep your stride. Never mind your fears. Brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me. Someday we'll all be free. Keep on walking tall. Hold your head up high. Lay your dreams right up to the sky. Sing your greatest song, and you'll keep going, going, going on. Take it from me. Someday we'll all be free. Hey, just wait and see. Someday we'll all be free. It won't be long. Take it from me. Someday we'll all be free. All you got to do is hang on to the world. Take it from me. Someday, someday, someday we'll all be free. Keep on walking. Take it from me. Someday we'll all be free. Yeah. And it's written by Donny Hathaway and Edward Howard. And Mary McDonald Swindell says, and I dance to them fast and slow. Yes, 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 Mary, fast and slow. And it's so funny, Ron. I mean, we were like halfway through the program, and it just goes to show that when you love what you do, time flies. And when you're sharing your love for your art, for your passion, and we have people out there like Mary and Monica and Dina. It really, and Laretha, it makes you feel good to share these things. Because, Ron, I believe, again, I said this before, and I think you agree with me, that the essence of teaching is sharing. Not trying to impress anybody, not trying to show how smart you are. That's not what it is. It's just that, man, I have these books. I have this music. The brother has his poetry, and we just want to share with you, because when we share with you, it makes us feel good, and if we feel good by what we bring to you, we know it's going to make you feel good. And so we do this. We do this out of love. We come to you out of our hearts. We come to you to give you some food for thought. What say you, my brother?
You know, you're absolutely correct. Sharing is learning. Learning is applying. Applying is building. Building, you'll see the structure come to light.
That's right. That's right.
And with all of that is what your adversary refuses to allow you to see who you are. Mm-hmm. So take away, close your eyes towards anything that creates distraction. That's right. You are history. You are his story. You are your story. Until you tell your story to share with somebody, we all have a story. Someday we'll all be free. King said it. Malcolm said it. Harriet Tubman, she made it her business. She gonna be free today. She didn't say someday. She said today. I'm getting out here today. And she ain't let a daggone soul go back talking about him and her like y'all do on Facebook. Well, you know, we was talking about no. Mum's the word. Close your mouth.
That's
and
right.
look forward. Write your book. Listen to those lyrics. Sing your song. Dance to your music. Let the body flow. No matter how you look at it. Stand up. Be somebody. Let us know who you are. We may not be able to see you here, but we know you're in the VIP. A lot of those names, if not all of them, I know who you are. It brings back remembrance to me.
That's right.
And that's what's important. So we're here to share. Share your story. We sharing our story.
Right.
It's not just about showcasing and showboating. No. We're educating.
Yeah. And today's agenda, our story, is our story.
Our story.
Get up, stand up. Mary McDonald Swindell says, your gift should not be hidden. I agree with you. Dina Robinson says, sharing is caring. And I'll take it a step further. It once was said, each one teach one. Everybody has something to teach. Everybody has something that they can share with another person to make that person's life better. Because that's what it is. And my brother always talks about having a vision. What does it say in the Bible? Without a vision, what happens to the people?
My people perish.
They perish. And again, and I know, and it's so interesting that, you know, I think the older you get, the more you want to be about creativity, because that's going to add longevity to you. I mean, I wake up, I know this brother wakes up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, he's writing. I'm the same way, man. I just have so much I want to share. Dina Robinson says, "Amen, Terry." Thank you, Dina. But again, and you would think that, you know, I tell everybody I started thinking about this when I was 9 years old. My brother, he's been doing this a long time. But as you can see, we're still passionate about it. It's not humdrum. Well, I got to do this. It's not working. No. We're doing what we love, and when you do what you love, man, it brings a fire. A fire in your belly, a fire in your soul, and you want to express yourself. Right now, I'm writing an autobiography, but I'm writing it in poems, and I just can't wait to get it. I'm looking back on my life, and these ideas are coming by. Ron, I'm working on a long poem about a friend of mine. Make a long story short, she had a radio program on one of the PBS channels, but it was on the radio, and she invited me on her show, and we had a good time. At that time, I had a program called it was on rap music. It was rap music as literature, and I would go to different schools at that time. And she invited me on a program, and we had such a great time, you know. And I lost track of her. And then it was some years later, we went to the same college together. That's where I met her, and her name is Denise Collins. And I called her house sometime after we did the program, and I called, and her husband answered the phone. And I said, "Hey, I'd like to speak to Denise." And he paused, and he said, "Denise has passed." Oh my goodness! Wow! I mean, and tears came right to my eyes, because I'm trying to, to reconnect with my friend, and I waited, and now she passed. And so I talked with her husband, Bill, and we talked for a little while, and he told me that she's talked about you quite a bit. She mentioned you quite a few times, and he said, "Would you like me to send you some of her poetry books?" I said, "Yeah, please, yes." And he sent me the books, and I'm working on a long piece for Denise. It's called "Cherish This Moment," and this cherish this moment, and it's for Denise. But it could be for you. It could be for a special friend. I mean, how many times? And Ron, I tell you, bro, I'm at the age where sometimes I hate to ask about people. Like they say, like, what happened to so and so. And then, they tell me that, well, so-and-so has passed. I don't want to hear that. And so sometimes I'm reluctant. But just, I guess the lesson, Ron, is that you gotta keep in touch with people, especially people who mean something to you. And Denise was a poet, but she was also an educator. And we went to the same college. And it's so funny because, You know, when I share a lot of this on my Facebook page, and I have this picture of me and Denise. We had went to Rider College for a reunion to talk to some of the students, and so it's a picture of me and Denise together. So I'm going to put that picture up with the poem. But again, the message is cherish this moment right now. Sometimes we get so much into the past and get into the future, Ron, that we don't think about this moment.
You know what's interesting, to piggyback off that too, and you're absolutely correct. And I'm quite sure everybody that's on this channel, looking at us, listening to us, can verify what I'm getting ready to say. Too often, on a regular basis, somebody always calling you about somebody who passed away, but they can't talk to you, have a conversation in between time. Why wait till somebody passed away and also, well, you know, such passed away, you know, and everybody want to go to the service. But meanwhile, while they're living and breathing, nobody wants to talk. That's right. Nobody have a conversation like they used to years ago. Everybody, I remember when I was small, in the neighborhood, everybody was talking. That's right. That's right. Even when they was whispering. Yes. You heard the sounds of something. That's right. But the bottom line is right now, people sit home looking at whatever the case, but everything's quiet. You can look out the window, nobody saying nothing. But all of a sudden the phone rings, ring, 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 ring. Guess what? So-and-so's died. Whoa. And then you get a whole litany of a whole lot of people who pass away. And that's what's so sad, you know? Don't wait till that person pass away. At least say hello, how you doing, or somebody you pass along the way. You never know who you might meet. Old friends, whatever the case may be. But have a conversation about storytelling and not the blues.
Again, in storytelling, I mean, I think that our culture lends it to it, because I remember sitting with my grandmother, and she tells me stories. I remember sitting with my uncle. He would tell me stories. My aunt, my mother would tell me stories. And I tell you, Ron, there are some people who will never write a book, will never write a poem, but their stories are so educational, so inspirational, that they should have a book. But not everybody is going to sit down, Ron. I said, the hardest thing for writers to do is sit down and write. Okay, we'll find everything to do but that. And that's why we have people that we talk about who are going to write a book someday. Well, they might write a book someday, but they probably won't, because they won't sit down and do it. It's as simple as that. You'd be surprised what happens when you sit down. Mary McDonald Swindell says, communication with one another is very important. Now, I want to say this again. This is from Mary McDonald Swindell, and she's a poet. And also she's written her autobiography. And she says here, and I quote, communication with one another is so very important.
You know, I want to just tap on this. This is important. We always said, you know, naturally the average always said February is Black History Month. But as my brother said, we want to change it to our history, our story. Every day is our story.
Our
no
story.
Such thing as 1 month. It was started that way in a week, you know, then it went to a month.
That's right, yeah.
The bottom line is that week and that month really ended many, many, many years ago. But did you carry it on by telling your story, sharing your story, having our story, no matter how you look at it?
Our story.
You know, whether you go back in the books or whenever, but your parents brought you here to talk to you. Somebody, uncle, brother, niece, somebody talked to you. But are you passing on the story? Are you having the conversation when you was young? But let me just read this right quick, because this is important. This is right here. I'm just going to skim over it because it's a lot. This one is in reference to Thurgood Marshall. Everybody knows Thurgood Marshall, and if you don't, you know him now. Thurgood Marshall, look him up, because to me, he was a very powerful brother, a man, a father, a husband, and a justices.
That's right, yep.
He stood on the Constitution. The Constitution was his foundation. He argued it. Everything that's happening today, he was against, and it didn't happen as long as he was in office. You can look it up to verify what I'm saying. I have the book. I followed him. You see, that's what's important. So all of this stuff about your president and everybody else doing this and that, and that, it didn't happen then. So I just want to skim up just some information. Thurgood Marshall, July 2nd, 1908, January 24th, 1993, was an American civil rights lawyer and jurist who served as an associate justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. From 1967 until 1991, he was the Supreme Court first African-American justice. Prior to his judicial service, he was an attorney who fought for civil rights, leading the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. Marshall was a prominent figure in the movement to end racial segregation in American public schools. He won 29 of 32 civil rights cases. He argued before the Supreme Court, culminating in the court's landmark 1954 decision in Brown versus Board of Education, which rejected the separate but equal doctrine and held segregation in public education to be unconstitutional. President Lyndon B. Johnson appointed Marshall to the Supreme Court in 1967. A staunch liberal, he frequently dissented as the court became increasingly conservative. Wow. Born in Baltimore, Maryland, Marshall attended Lincoln University and the Howard University School of Law. At Howard, he was mentored by Charles Hamilton Houston, who taught his students to be social engineers, willing to use the law to fight for civil rights. Marshall opened a law practice in Baltimore, but soon joined Houston at the NAACP in New York. They worked together on the segregation case of Missouri ex rel Gaines versus Canada. After Houston's return to Washington, Marshall took his place as special counsel of the NAACP, and he became director counsel of the newly formed NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. He participated in numerous landmark Supreme Court. I want to stop there because just to give just a few comments and remarks on that, because it's important. And I want to say, because I have the book, Charles Hamilton Houston, I don't know if it's Houston, but Houston, who taught law school at night as students before Howard University was accredited. Keep this in mind, before Howard University was accredited. And this is the issue I have. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to take a couple seconds, because too often we talk about HBCUs and black colleges, but what the heck are you doing that your ancestors fought for, died for, practiced, and boycott against the civil rights injustice? The hell with what's happening now. Go back and study your history. That's what we talk about. Read, study, storytelling. Go back and learn something and use, as he said, civil engineer, study law, know the administrative law, know what council is doing, go to your council meeting, know your council presidents or whoever they may be, understand your mayor. All of that is equally important, because what happens on the lower level, the bottom level, in the basement, is what they do at the top. And that's why, unfortunately, your president is doing what he's done, because all of that has been dismantled, and he's continuing to dismantle you. I say this all the time. Somebody like Thurgood Marshall, I ain't gonna mention the other one who took his place thereafter, because they knew what they was doing when they put him in place. He has no voice. He has no say-so. No one on the Supreme Court outside those three justices that descends or argue against other ones. It's important for you to start to learn the difference between the liberal and conservative. Republicans or Democrats, doesn't matter. Your rights is your voice. If you don't have a voice, you don't have no rights. And if you don't have no rights, you don't have no voice, then what the hell do you stand around for? Because again, dead wheat. Matter of fact, I think it's in John, I'm not going to get into it, but in John, in the Bible in John, you know, you're the fruits of the labor, but weeds, when the leaves fall from the tree, they are blown away, scattered to where? Nowheres. But when you are part of what God has created you to be, you stand firm on that. You are the roots of the tree, like a tree planted by water. You shall not be moved.
Yes.
But stand on your rights, your voice. Speak up. And stop sitting back talking about what somebody else is doing to you or for you.
Yeah. Well, Monica Sain says, tell it. It's so important for us to know our history. So many folks don't. Mary McDonald Swindell says, yes, sir. Just before we leave this, what he's talking about in terms of Thurgood Marshall, did you realize, Ron, that in his short life, I'm talking about Chadwick Boseman, the actor, Chadwick Boseman played in a movie, he played Thurgood Marshall, okay? Also, Chadwick Boseman played in a movie James Brown. Chadwick Boseman in a movie played Jackie Robinson. And go without saying, he also played Black Panther. And so, again, it's our story. It's our story. So we have to tell the story the way we want it to be told. So people will know that this is important to us. So, again, Thurgood Marshall is a man that we all should know. Like Monica Sane said, tell it. It's so important for us. Our story is for us to know our history. So many folks don't. And if they had their way, none of us would know it. Ron, we about down to our last 10 minutes, man.
And, just in short,
my goodness,
you have 9 justices today. And for the most part, unfortunately, in a lot of ways, 6 of them side with each other. You see, when in fact you have the descending one, the one who had the casting vote, which is the Chief Justice. And he, in my opinion, is supposed to listen to the argument or conversations among themselves. Really look at it detailedly in the Constitution. What is the framers were saying and doing and whatnot? Because what's happening today, a lot of them was against. But then the other one that was against was trying to enforce and cultivate what you have today, no matter how you look at it. And so I just want to read this short piece because I know we have a couple minutes. So I'm skipping over down here. Marshall jurisprudence was pragmatic and drew on his real-world experience. Listen, look around, understand.
Real experience.
Okay? Listen, all your education is where you take your eyes, your ears, your taste, your feeling out in the real world. It's not about sitting in school. It's not about paying somebody else money, but take what is free, the library. Go to the library. Any book, every book you need to know and understand is in the library. How is it that prisoners in jail know more about history and law than many of you out here? And then we have lawyers male and female, in the black culture. And I can't find one. But they all get out there and parade on Facebook talking about we as lawyers, this and that and the other. My point is, what I'm saying is that we should not be begging or looking for. We should be able to tap into our neighbor to find out who can lead us, help us, tell us a story. What can I learn from you? Listen to. So just in short, as I finish this one part here, his most influential contribution to Constitution doctrine, the sliding scale approach to the Equal Protection Clause, called on courts to apply a flexible balancing test instead of a more rigid, tie-based analysis. He frequently opposed the death penalty, which is, in his view, constitute cruel and unusual punishment. And so I just want to leave you with that before we continue to close. It's important to understand what is and what isn't. What is balance between what one says, what one wants, versus what is life, what is human nature. The king said, I've been to the mountaintop. He knew what was going to happen to him before it happened. But people was around to support him. All of a sudden, King gone, Malcolm gone, Harry Tubman gone, and everybody else gone, and you sitting around doing what? Where's the protest? Where's the march? Where's the raising your flag? I said before, 1928, the silent march. Where's the people? You don't need to go to D.C. to talk about Black Lives Matter. Get your voices out here right now, each and every day. Talk to your neighbor about what's going on, because as long as you focus on the negative, you don't have a future for something positive.
That's true. That's it.
We got what?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Let me do this in short.
Okay.
This one is titled A Black Seed in My Community. A Black Seed in My Community. The blackness of a community, the birthplace from which I derive, a place embraced by my ancestors, a place called home. Together we stood, together we stand, back to back, embracing a culture to learn hand in hand. A building of solidness, secure without harshness. Education was a home learning from which we were cut off from the outside world. We made it our own, soft, witty, teaching helps to claim what we discovered. We were builders of many trades, writers, poets, mechanics, electricians, plumbers, housemakers, and cooks, too. We knitted many fabrics, just to name a few. The pathway to learning was all we knew until the light of darkness heard our voice and saw our opportunity to learn, to leave theirs alone. They are jealous of their platform and tear down what doesn't belong to them. But they sold ours to gain money for their prosperity. Black seed in my community is a domination serving our own brothers and sisters. Our own brothers. No one bothers us. They took what we had, what we gained, our minds, bodies, and books, and now seek to exploit another round of what belongs to them. Take, give me, take no words to express, no thoughts to apologize for their own demise, ways of thinking or feeling, just an entry, a kata. And I'm going to explain that word. Lost in delusional sanity without a purpose to know why they are lost to their own insanity. Vibrancy was and is the place that highlights black seeds in the community. Black seed of the soil, black seeds of education, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, and all types of businesses. We thrive with resilience, where brilliancy capped the brain with wisdom and knowledge. We lost through it and gave away ignorance as prey, knowing what was and still is being stolen, taken by force. So, when did the black seed lose its soul in the soil? Akata, I learned that from a friend of mine just recently, and she just learned what that word means. And what that word means, you can look it up. A-K-A-T-A is in reference to a cat running around, losing his mind, going insane. And in John, I think it's Mark 8, you can look it up, where man was running around crazy in a cave, cutting himself with a stone because he was full of sin, spirits, roaming spirits. Okay, that's what's important. Take those spirits that's in you, that's controlling you, distracting you from what you should be doing. Focus on freedom, because when Jesus walked into town, the little spirit jumped out and said, "Oh, why you bound us? Send us into the pigs so we go and drown ourselves," because they cannot and was not able to go back to Satan, the darkness. Take yourself out of the darkness, because you came, which you are the light that came from darkness to a marvelous world. That's what you was created for. So don't go back and allow somebody else to put you back in darkness by talking about we're going to take your history away. No, you are the light of the world. You was created for who you are. You came from darkness. Don't let darkness take you back, because again, all of us are here because of the higher power, and we have to stand up and fight for our freedom, our rights, and who you are. So with that, my brothers and sisters, no matter how you look at it, it's our history, generational history, a long walk we have to go. So this month is not just Black History Month, it's our history each and every single day.
This has been Poetically Speaking with yours truly, Terry Benjamin and Ronald C. McCray. We're with you every Thursday from 6 to 7 and Sunday from 5 to 6. Good evening. It's Our Story.